My name is Sharice Lee, and today I'm going to be talking about motivation. So, motivation for most people is something that's really hard to overcome, it's an obstacle. And the problem with motivation is that whether your goal is fitness or nutrition or basically anything, it's hard to start. And then once you do start, it's hard to keep that motivation, maintain it to accomplish your goals. So some of the research methods that I did was that through topic research, I looked at consumer psychology, reviews and journals. I looked at articles on increasing and decreasing motivation. I looked at case studies. I looked at modeling analysis, student interviews. And then when I went into research, I looked at a lot of different products and I used a SWOT analysis. When I went into audience research, I created a survey and I then created a persona based on that survey. And then when I went into visual research, I basically explored three different moods and I made mood boards based on that. So I might should put out there that I did start researching motivation and then I narrowed it down to weight loss motivation. So for my project goals, I want to I want to make sure that we want to increase accountability through peer-to-peer support. I want to highlight your habits so you create awareness and you expose trends that can be resolved. I want to raise intrinsic motivation so that um, I want to raise intrinsic motivation through fitness and nutrition education. I want to strengthen engagement through rewards, feedback, and challenges. And I want to plan and counteract the barriers that decrease motivation. So, why this topic is important. So, 2 out of 3 adults in the US are overweight, 72 million adults are obese, and then they spend 147 billion in health related costs. So, all of these factors can lead to diabetes, heart disease, stroke, hypertension, cancer. Um, so, some key findings that I found out were that no matter what goal you're going for within motivation, they basically all split motivation into two categories. So, you either have a person that is intrinsically motivated or you have somebody who is extrinsically motivated. And you can also have someone who is mixed with a little bit of both. So, intrinsically motivated individuals are people who do something because they have a genuine interest in it. They actually like it. To increase motivation in these type of people, you need to make sure that the goal is attainable and that it's challenging. For extrinsically motivated people, those people they're looking for an external reward. So it could be a good grade, attention, approval, any of those things, money. And to increase motivation for these type of people, what you really want to do is find a way to turn their motivation into intrinsic. So you want to offer them a lot of options. So hopefully they'll find something they actually like. And then you want to stress the importance of why they're doing this goal. A few other tips that I found were like you want to offer a support system, some kind of network. It doesn't matter what goal it is. They always talked about support. You want to break up the goal into smaller chunks. You want to track the barriers to that motivation so you can get back to their source and actually deal with them. And then after moving on to the weight loss side of it, I learned a lot of tips. Just a few were like tracking helps you evaluate your habits and having someone hold you accountable helps. I also saw a couple stats was that in 2011, 77% of Americans owned a smartphone, which I'm pretty, we all know that it went up since then. And then more than half of those people have downloaded a health uh, related mobile app. So after that, I went into making a survey. So some of my results were that men and women were pretty split down the middle, so it was pretty even. For ages, it was 18 to 54. one of the top difficulties that people faced was that they binged on it, and then they binged on food, and then they just never came back to their goal. And the top choices for end products, which I actually allowed them to even write it in, but the top choice was an app. And then the second choice was a bit like a flat screen TV that is a touch screen application on there, and it syncs to an app on your phone. So you always have your goals in front of you. And then we also have portion control dishes. People like that idea. And then the top weight loss apps that they tried were Fitbit and MyFitnessPal. And then that led me into my persona. So my persona was just, I created Basic Becky based on the results. And she thinks nutrition and exercise is important. She wants to lose 20 pounds. She just had a kid not too long ago, like 3 years ago. And she works as a server. So she's surrounded by food all the time. So she tends to sample it here and there. She doesn't really like to cook, or she doesn't have time. So she does a lot of frozen meals and takeout, and her time is split between taking care of her kid and working. So, and she's tried Fitbit and MyFitnessPal, and her goal is to, you know, get a fitness and nutrition plan. And then I have a little bit of her daily activities. So based on that results, of the survey and the idea that most people want to see an app, I chose to display 3 apps that were pretty popular when I was researching. I did look at a lot of other products, so it's not like I just looked at this. But based on these 3 apps, some of their strengths are that they all track calories, exercise, steps, nutrients. MyFitnessPal has a blog that educates you. You can all join a community, but it's pretty social, like social media, where there's a thumbs up or a status. Most people pretty much ignore, like they don't really like focus on the people there. Um, like if you join a community, there's not someone that's gonna like. It's not the same as like having a person. It's just like you're posting a status, and sometimes no one's really paying attention to it. And navigation was pretty easy. I do like that Fitbit connects to your device, which I think all of them do that, but Fitbit actually gives you notification if you've been sitting for too long. Some of their weaknesses is they're not 100% accurate. A lot of their data that's in their large libraries is data that is community sourced. So sometimes their information doesn't match the packaging. And some people said that it's too time consuming to put stuff in. And some opportunities I saw was adding customization, because right now all these apps are pretty generic. So, and then the only person that actually rewarded you uh, or tried to reward the activity that you did that was semi-motivating was Fitbit, because they actually send you badges when you reach a certain goal. As far as all the other ones is just kind of generic tracking. So I think if you add customization, you could target an extrinsic person or a intrinsic person by putting certain questions into the profile. And I think that what I would like to do is find a survey that would determine which type you are, and put it into the survey so I know how to motivate you. Also, I want to add questions that ask you about your actual health. So, like if you have back problems, I don't want to suggest to you to do a workout or have you looking through a list of workouts that don't work for you. So, I would rather have exercises recommended that strengthen your core because you have back problems. Some other suggestions I made him add was a point system, so that it leads to you getting products that would help you stay motivated. It would be a reward, which would help extrinsically people who are extrinsically motivated. And then some threats is that a lot of these apps are already out there, so the market is pretty flooded. As far as visual research, this first one is more cheerful and bright colors, and I like the idea of mixing, I'm just going to scroll through. I like the idea of mixing illustrations and photos. So, and I did look at app design and like some websites. And then the second one is all about strength and courage. So it's a lot of dark backgrounds, and then so the pictures are highlighted. And then I looked at apps. I also looked at posters, so infographics possibly, and some websites. And then as far as the last one, it's another direction and it's more like health, motivational collab. So there's some quotes. There is some food here displayed differently. There's a lot of greens. There's some mobile apps. And then this is like an idea for a website, kind of. And then a lot of green color options. And that's pretty much it.